and stuff in there.
Yeah, they put too much.
All right. So good morning, everyone. We'll start the recording there. It's all started. Okay. First of all, are your brains full with lots of information? Did you take did you go back and watch one of the previous videos last week since we were gone and in Florida? Was it a good refresher? If you didn't go back and do it, then I would recommend doing it because there's so much information in all these videos. I mean, we've talked about so much. I know last 2 weeks ago, Brianna did a training on DISC. Was that helpful? Yes. To learn about yourself and then to learn about other people, because I'm sure she said this, but you want to learn to be a chameleon just in life, in that you want to, of course, you're not changing who you are, but to be able to relate to other people, right? You have to know yourself and know that not everyone's like you, and that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, you also want to be able to identify with other people, right? So is that helpful?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So today we're going to talk all about team building, and we've talked a lot about, you know, all the other levels. Hold on, I need to mute everyone real quick. So we've talked about all the other things. Hold on real quick. Okay. We have talked about all the other steps about the business. We've talked about how to meet people. Which I have flowers in my car, by the way, if anybody needs some. We've talked about how to meet people. We've talked about booking. We've talked about selling and having a rockin' sales appointment. And then booking parties from parties. You remember all this, right? Then we talked about the DISC thing. We talked about time management. And then today we're going to talk about team building. And then the last class will finish up all the ins and outs and all the details of all the other little things that are important to in your business. But who feels like they're amazing at team building? Woo! I would say that I definitely would say that this is my favorite topic to talk about. Okay. So as with everything else, it all starts right here. It all starts right here. You can be a great team builder. Anyone can be a great team builder, but it starts with your attitude, right? And so the question is, if you don't have a ton of team members, which some of you have a ton of great team members, some of you don't, but if you want to have a great team, it starts with your attitude, right? Just like with booking, just like with selling, just like with everything else, it starts with you and your attitude and how you feel about it. So the first question to ask yourself, and if you've heard me talk about team building at all before, you know, is how do you feel about your business? Because how you feel about your business is going to determine how you share with other people. If you believe, good morning, if you believe we have the best opportunity and it is the best thing out here and everybody should be a part of your team and everybody should be in Mary Kay, then there should be no problem team building. Every single one of you can get into could get into DIQ and become a director like that if you truly believe that this is the best opportunity out there and you are confident and believe in yourself. Right? So first of all, let's talk just really quickly about what do you love about your business? Shout out. What are some of your favorite reasons why you love your business?
It's fun.
It's fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. Women nowadays need more fun in their life. Okay. So I want you to write these things down. What are the things that you guys say that you love about your businesses? You love that it's fun. I think I share about that all the time, that a lot of women just need something fun. Most women, they're stressed. They do everything else for other people, but they don't have fun in their life. So what other things do you love about your business?
Monday meetings.
Monday meetings. Yes. You love what do you love about the Monday meetings? They're just fun too. They're fun. They're positive. They're uplifting. They're encouraging. What else? What else do you guys love?
Women helping
women. Women empowering other women and helping other women. That's huge. That's huge.
Girlfriends.
Yes, you love the friendships. Exactly. I absolutely love the friendships. And nice, positive women, that makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Yes. And products. Yeah, we have amazing product. Yeah. Yep. And product at half off is even better, right?
Share my faith.
And share your faith. A ministry. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. A ministry.
Self-growth.
Personal growth. Absolutely. That where else can you grow? In a safe environment where no one's going to make fun of you, you know, because sadly our society, they're okay being broke as a joke and, you know, staying home and not stretching themselves and not, you know, I believe in the average person doesn't talk about facing their fears and doesn't talk about stepping out of their comfort zone. You know, they talk about, oh, I can't do that. Can't is a part of most Americans' vocabulary. we're in Mary Kay, Mary Kay would cut off your little tongue if you said you can't do something. She'd be like, oh no, you don't say I can't. She would always replace that with I can, I will, I must, right? And most of our society is, I can't do that, I'm broke, never going to change anything. Where we in Mary Kay, we know we can change our situations by facing our fears and by stepping out of our comfort zone, right? We're talking about why we love our businesses for Miss Erin. We're talking about what else do you love about your business? What else? The flexibility. That's huge. That's huge for a lot of people is flexibility. They got to have some around all the craziness that they got going on. And not the pressure of having to do something, but it's there if when you want to pick it up and put it down. Okay, what else? What else do you guys love about it?
Financial growth. Come on, guys.
Of course, exactly. The advancement potential. Yes, no one wants to say that, but yeah, seriously, the advancement potential. I mean, where else could you earn millions and millions of dollars, and you're not limited by your boss, or you're limited by your education, or you're limited by your background. Nowhere else that I know of is there the unlimited earning potential that there's available in Mary Kay, right? Sometimes we forget about that, but it's available for everybody. Okay, what else? What else?
It's up to us, not anybody else.
Yes, I love that I'm in control of my future. I'm in control of promoting myself. If I want to raise, if I want a promotion, if I want to earn a free car, I want to earn a all expense paid luxury trip with my husband and I can. You're in control of that, and you guys have the power of that as well. Where most of their jobs, you can go to your boss and say, hey, I want to double my income this month. Can you do that for me? They'd laugh you out the door, right? So, and you may, they may be open to it, but we're not always in control of that, right? You got to ask the boss for permission. For this, you ask yourself, right? I'm the best boss I've ever had. Let me just say, I'll give myself a raise anytime.
We have great coaching.
Yes, that's huge. You have a mentor, you have someone to help you. Where a lot of other jobs, you don't necessarily have that. So lots of great reasons. Do you not believe every woman should have the option to at least know about this, right? So what do we think? So we all agree Mary Kay is the best opportunity out there, right? We all agree that on a logistics standpoint, and logically we can all see that. So what holds us back from not sharing? Why do you not have 10 agreements in this month? Because seriously, if you truly believe that this is the best opportunity out there, especially with the starter kit promo going on right now, what's holding you back from sharing it with everyone with passion and excitement and joy? What's holding you back? Fear. Would you all say a fear?
People saying yes.
Fear.
Attracting
people saying yes. That's interesting.
Money is part of it too.
Money?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
For them to have the money to sign up. Does that make sense? No.
Nope, that doesn't make sense because that's not you. That you're not sharing like that. That's something you can't control. But I'd say the number one reason people don't share is because you're afraid, and you're making it about you. You're making it about you. You're afraid of them saying no. You're maybe afraid of them saying yes. You're afraid of them coming in and then maybe not doing anything with it. You're afraid of maybe you're not where you want to be in your business, and so you think they're going to judge you. We're afraid. We're afraid. But what I know is that, you guys, it's not about you. Team building is about her. This whole business is about other people. But we don't share with passion and excitement and joy when we make it about us. Oh, I'm going to look stupid. Oh, I may say something wrong, so I just won't share it all. Maybe I'll just send her Candace's video, and then if she watches, and then there we go. No, that is not, most people are not going to sign up because of that. Did you know the number one reason people sign up? Not because of all those other things they said they sign up because of you. Because they want to work with you. And because you are sharing with passion and joy and excitement, that's why people sign up. So get over yourself and just be you. And just share why you love your business. And now here's one thing about team building that I think is really important too. Is, of course, Stephanie was the only one that actually brought up the money and the advancement potential, that a lot of women feel like, oh my gosh, if I'm not like making $25,000 a month like Candace, then I can't share the same way she can. But the number one, like, people don't sign up for the money. People say all those things that you just shared. none of them had to do with money until Stephanie was like, y'all, seriously. But do you see how it came at the end when you guys were like grasping for straws, thinking of other things? That you guys have to share those reasons why you love your business, because those are the reasons people sign up. Because most women don't have the belief in themselves that they could make $10,000, $20,000 a month. They don't believe that they can, and that seems way too far out there. And for most of you, it seems way too far out as well. But they could sign up for some fun girl time. They could sign up for something fun in their life. They could sign up for the positivity. They could sign up to step out of their comfort zone and grow personally. Do you see how you're making it about something that people don't really care about? People feel like when they share with team building, they feel like, oh, I have to share the marketing plan and how we make all the money and how we, earn free cards and how we do blah, 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 all these things, where you're forgetting the most important reasons why why you guys love your businesses, and why women. I believe one of the number one reasons people need to sign up is for hope. That's why that's the password in my video, is because that's one of the biggest gifts that we offer women is hope. Because so many people are depressed these days because they're not happy with their situation and they think it's always going to be that way. That we give them hope that they can change their situation, right? Now, the other thing about team building is it's not about you. You are not giving her your opportunity. You're giving her the advancement opportunity to be the next multimillionaire in Mary Kay. Now, if she chooses to run with that, great. If she chooses not to run with that, great. It is not about you. My recruiter came in and she quit, 3 months after signing up. I am not here because of my recruiter. Yes, she shared with me, but I'm the number one director in the nation because I chose to work, right? Not because of her. And so many people don't share because you think what they do with their business has something to say about you. I can't tell you how many people don't recruit because they feel like, just like Becky said, oh, if they sign up, then what I got to do with them? And then I got to do something with them. You don't have to do anything with team members. When someone signs up, you send them to me. That's my job as a director. Your job is just to share and to share with it. And then what they do with it is completely up to them. It's their choice. Do you know, get this, let this sink in. It's like 99% of top directors in Mary Kay do not have a strong recruiter. Let that sink in for a second. Their recruiter went to Mary Kay heaven, but they are in this company and they are a top director because they chose to work it. So whether your recruiter is going gung-ho and kicking kicking butt,
That's okay.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Whether she's doing great. Or maybe your recruiter's MIA, that does not determine your success. You are here because of what you chose to do. I'm here not because of my recruiter, because my recruiter went MIA. I'm here because of what I chose to do. So it's the same thing when you're building your team. Whether they run to the top and do something great with it, or whether they do absolutely nothing, has nothing to do with you. Got it? Okay, so let's get over that. And because like I said, it's all right here. I have people hold themselves back all the time because they're making it about themselves. Okay, so got it? Team building's not about you. Get over yourself. I have to tell myself that over and over again at this level. Candace, get over yourself. And I told myself that more this last year than I've ever said that before. And you guys have to do the same thing. It's not about you. It's your job to share. What they do with it is up to them. I believe it's just like with, sharing God's love. It's our job just to share it. Whether they choose to accept Jesus as their Savior is up to them. It's not up to me. My job is to share, right? Okay. And do you know, lastly, before we go through all the specifics, do you know that Mary Kay Ash, when she was around, I know none of you got to meet her. I didn't get to meet her either. But when, women would wait in lines for hours to talk to Mary Kay Ash. And when they walk up to them, apparently, I would be like a blubbering idiot. I don't even know what to say. I'd be like, I don't even know what to say. And you'll be like, thank you, Mary Kay. Thank you for sharing this opportunity. Thank you. Please put your phones away. That'd be great. Thank you for sharing this opportunity with me. You've changed my life. And do you know what she would say every time?
Pass it on.
You did it. No, pass it on.
Yeah.
Every single time she would say, pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
Pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
She said, if you feel that, she said, the greatest gift you can give me is to pass it on and share this opportunity with everyone.
Legacy.
So Mary Kay Ash, literally, that's what she would ask of us over and over again. Every single person that would come through and say, thank you, Mary Kay, for changing my life and for starting this company, she'd say, pass it on. So I am speaking Mary Kay's words to you saying, this is the most important thing that she asked us to do, because the future of our company is in you guys' hands. Do you get that responsibility? The future of our company is in you guys' hands. And especially this month, with the promos going on this month, there is no reason every single one of you can't have 10 team members this month. Would that not change everything if you had 10 team members? Also, one thing really quickly, let me say really quickly that I see people do. How many of you have had team members and they've gone to gone MIA or gone to Mary Kay Heaven? Okay, do not, and those of you that don't have them yet, you will. I'm just telling you that because I want you to know that those people, don't let their choices stop you from sharing from the next person, because those person's choices could be literally holding you back from this person, who could be the next person you share with, who could be craving an opportunity like this. How dare you let that person's choices stop you from sharing with this person who is desperately yearning for someone and yearning for an opportunity like this, and this could be that they could be the next Candace Overspike. How dare you let that person's choices stop you from sharing? Okay, that's another thing. Erin, sorry, I'm fishing my thought.
I'm writing it down. We can talk later.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's all about attitude. Y'all got it? You're getting over yourselves, and we're going to talk about, we're not going to not let that fear, not let that doubt, not let other people's choices stop you. It's their choice, right? And what they do with it is up to them. Okay, and now what we're going to do is go over who is a quality prospect. And I didn't email these out. Okay, so who do you share with? First of all, you share with everybody. Okay, however, there are certain things we share with everybody, and we don't want to prejudge. However, there are certain things, and I don't want this to stop you from sharing with people, but on an average, or on for the most part, you want to ask people with these traits, okay? And I did not email this out, but I'm just going to kind of go through it because I think it's kind of what you guys can kind of share a few. I didn't make enough for everybody because I don't think this handout is super important. But I think it's something that you can kind of look at and just kind of go through, like, okay, when I'm sharing, I want to be looking for these things. I think some of the important things, here's a place to start, but I want you to make a list for yourself. Write this down as part of your assignment. Make a list of the qualities that you want in women on your team. What are the things that you want in your team? Let's spout out some of them. What are some of the things that we want on our team? Integrity. You want to say something, Sabri?
I was going to say integrity.
Integrity. What? Oh, wow. You guys are all about integrity. Okay. And I'd say fun. What? Good heart. Has a good heart. I would say loyal. Like, here's the things that I look for. Someone who is loyal. Someone who is nice. I can teach people a lot of things. I can't teach them to be nice. No. There's some mean people out there. I do not want them on my team.
Oh, I just said
has skin. Yeah, that's important. I think here's a trait that I have been actually praying for and claiming in the people on my team is bounce back ability. Because I believe that is huge in this business. That will make or break you, because so bounce back ability is, yes, they have life happen, but did they get back up? I look for people, along with loyalty, that they stick to something. If you look at someone's track record and they have gotten a new job every 3 months and they don't stick to anything, that's a big red flag, because they're probably not going to stick to this, right? Because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And a lot of people are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. I will look for people who are loyal and are willing to stick with something, because that's really important to this. So integrity, positive. Now, I was not a positive person coming into Mary Kay. I was totally a pessimist. So I think that's something that you can grow in, but willing to grow. Willing to grow, because someone can be a super pessimist and be a negative Nelly and be 100% okay with that and not think there's anything wrong. And so I'm looking for, it's better if they're an optimist, but also people who are willing to grow, right? I think here's the important thing is they have to have a need. They have to have a need in their life. If you share with somebody and they have their whole life together, they are happy with everything, and they, which a lot of times they're lying if they say that. Now they may have the perfect job and they love their job. That's okay. That doesn't mean that they couldn't use Mary Kay, because like we said, all those other reasons is why people sign up. Maybe they need a backup plan. Maybe you don't know how many women I come into it and they come into Mary Kay and they tell me, Candace, I need a backup plan because my home situation is not wonderful. you know, and that breaks my heart. But, you know, they a lot of times just need that positivity. You know, the women that look like they have all their lives together are usually the best at faking it. That there's usually some need, right? So they've got to have a need. But here's some things. I'll just point out a few of them. So it says the rule and the exception, you know, just maybe the rule is, you know, she pays a mortgage payment. The exception is she rents an apartment or lives with family. That's obviously, you know, not always the case. Like right now we're renting, but obviously we're in the process of buying. So, you know, it's not always that case, but she has available credit. She has a support system. That's good. She's purchased a skincare system, though. That's really good, you guys. So these are things you typically want to look at, right? But that's not always the case. Like people are using the product is always good. She's integrity, holds her appointments made. If somebody cancels and you've scheduled 5 appointments with her and she's canceled every single time, she's probably not someone you want on your team, right? She's asked questions. She would do things the Mary Kay way. She has high standards. She's an optimist. Typically, she's 25 or older. Now, I was 24 when I signed up. That, like I said, this is not always the case. But on average, I think Savory is an exception and a couple of our younger people. But I think on average, 18, 19-year-olds just don't have the stick-to-itiveness and the maturity. You've been through a lot in your life, and that's grown you up really quickly. But on average, 18 and 19-year-olds just aren't going to be typically, they typically tend to not stick to things. It's just our society, right? And not the case. Like I said, it's not always the case, but these are just things you want to look for on whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I can't speak. She enjoys a challenge, eye contact, loves her products, bounce back ability, decision maker. She used her children as a reason to begin. She's purchased her products. Okay, so those are just some of the things. But here's the big questions to ask yourself about team building is, do you like her? And would you be upset if somebody else recruited her? If you'd be upset if somebody else recruited her, then you have to ask. You have to ask. And you'll see I'm going to give you a dialogue as far as what to say. But I would say, you know, when you're asking with someone, just say, you know what? I would be upset if somebody else asked you that it's my job. Mary Kay asked us to share with everybody. Blame Mary Kay, blame me, blame whoever. Say it's my job to just share. And if you want to do it, great. If not, that's totally fine. But I would kick myself if I didn't at least share with you, right? Because I've had it happen. We've all had it happen. They've been in for a while where someone else gets recruited. Someone you know gets recruited by someone else. And it is the worst. So please just ask. Here's these. We're going to pass them around. All right. So hopefully I've sold you on the idea of, yes, everybody needs Mary Kay, and we need to go over ourselves, and we need to ask, right? So here's the words as far as what to say. Those of you that are watching online, you can pull up the thing that says booking, practice, interview, dialogue, because you got to ask them to just listen. Now, here's the other thing. When you're asking people, you ask them to just listen. You're not automatically telling them, you should tell Mary Kay, because sometimes people's guards go up and they're like, oh, no, all the objections come up, right? I am really big on, hey, just listen. I want to sell them on the appointment to just listen, and then the facts can speak for themselves, right? The facts can speak for themselves. So you're asking her to just listen. So here's just a sample script, and I'm going to have you guys role play it really quickly. Hi, Sarah. This is Candace with Mary Kay. Do you have a quick minute? Cool. The reason I'm calling is because I'm working hard towards becoming a director, and as part of my training or a red jacket or whatever your next goal is, or I'm working really hard to doing a free card, and as part of my training, my director has challenged me to hold 5 practice interviews this week. I don't know if you would ever consider doing Mary Kay, but because you're such a great customer or friend or ambitious person, whatever, you know, give her a genuine compliment. If I went over some things about the Mary Kay opportunity, maybe you would know somebody who would be interested in this career. And if she signs up, then I'll give you 50% off your order for the next 6 months or whatever you want to give them, or $50 in free Mary Kay. It only takes about 30 minutes, and just for listening, I'll give you blank, a free lipstick. Is there any reason we couldn't get together? What is better for you, blank or blank? So you're asking her to just listen. Does that make sense? You're not asking her to sign up. You're asking her to just listen to the information, and you're pretty much like taking it away from her. It's kind of like this, this methodology of you ask her to listen and you almost take away from her. And if it's not for you, you may know somebody who could be interested. Does that make sense? So, all right. So now I'm going to have you role play really quickly because I want this coming out of your mouth and to have you share with people. Okay. So we have odd numbers. So Dina, you're going to practice with me. All right.
Oh, she was happy about that.
Now, here's the thing that let me share really quickly that it depends on your comfort level. If you're not in your red jacket yet, I would recommend that you set up these appointments with your director. I don't expect you guys to be comfortable just yet doing this. And I want you to hear, if you have not heard your director do several career chats, now some of you may be at different points. If you have not heard your director do several career chats, because I want to make sure you know how they work, then you would be setting these up with your director. Does that make sense? You'd be setting it up with your director and having them just listen. If your director doesn't do them or whatever, then we're going to go through what you actually say during the presentation. But I would encourage you to set it up with your director if you don't feel comfortable sharing the facts about Mary Kay. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Ready, set, go.
We go first. I have to do it right here in front of this.
Yes, you do.
Hi, Candace. How are you?
I'm great.
This is Dina with Mary Kay. Do you have a minute?
And you guys out there, I want you saying it out loud. I'm going to unmute it. Make sure you're talking.
The reason I'm calling is because I'm working towards a huge goal.
What's your goal?
It's part of my training this week.
What's your big goal?
My big goal is to get to red jacket in my Mary Kay business.
By when?
By
This month.
November 12th.
Awesome. Nope. By the end of the month. Awesome. I'm glad. I'd love to help you.
Yes. And as part of my training, I would like to do a 3-way call with my director, Candace. She is the #1 director in the nation, and she's amazing. So do you think that you would have a minute? I know this might not be for you.
Yeah, I could never see myself.
But you might know somebody that could benefit from this company, like I have. You are an amazing person, and you have a beautiful personality. And I just would like to share this opportunity with you. And like I said, if you don't know, if you wouldn't, it might not be for you, but you might know someone else who would be interested. So it takes about 30 minutes, and I will bless you with lunch or a free eyeshadow or mascara or something awesome, one of our awesome products. And if you know somebody and they sign up, I will give you my discount at 50% off for 6 months or $50 in Mary Kay products. How does that sound?
That sounds awesome.
Oh, good. When is better for you? Evenings or weekends? Wonderful. Saturday, Sunday, we have availability at 1 or 3. Are you available?
So I would say just get there Saturday morning and then say I'll contact you.
Okay. Wonderful. I will let Candace get in touch with you.
Woo, guys. Woo, woo, woo. That's all right. That's all right. It's good. It's good. It's good. All right. 30 more seconds. Finish it up. Make sure the other person can talk. All right. Try it again.
Hey, Candace.
Hey.
This is Dina with Mary Kay. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. The reason why I'm calling is because I have a huge goal with my Mary Kay business to reach red jacket by the end of the month. Woo! And I'm calling because my director wants me to listen to a 3-way call 5 this week. So I know you might not be interested in Mary Kay, but you might know somebody who needs to change their life. So I know you are so amazing and have a beautiful personality, so that's why I thought of you. And I went over the Mary Kay opportunity, and I just thought of you. And if you might not, you're not interested, but you might know somebody who is. If the person that you know signs up, I will give you the greatest discount of 50% off the next 6 months or $50 in Mary Kay products.
Cool.
So it only takes about 30 minutes of your time. It's really easy. And if you do this, then I can give you some Mary Kay or maybe lunch or lipstick. Is there any way that we couldn't do this today or tomorrow or
Let's do it. Let's do it.
any reason we couldn't get together? Coffee.
Coffee.
Good.
Coffee sounds great.
When is better for you, weekends or evenings?
Weekend.
Awesome. I'm going to let Candace know and I'll get back to you.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Awesome. Good job, guys. Hey.
Put me on the spot.
Woo. Okay. Good job. Hey. I'm glad that I can. Cool. All right. And let's shut the doors too because there's going to be some other people coming in a little bit later. Okay. So how would that feel? You can just ask people to just listen, right? Ask them to just listen. Now, if you... Now here, let me be clear. If you want to practice doing career chats on your own, that's totally fine. So let me just put that out there. If you want to practice doing them on your own, you feel comfortable doing them, awesome. But if you're not comfortable, then book them with your director. And so when it says blank or blank, you're going to find some times that work for her. And then you'll contact me or your director and say, hey, I have Susie Q that's willing to listen Saturday or Sunday. Here's her info. She knows you'll be calling. Okay. And then we can set it up. Okay. Now, though some of you may feel very confident, or if you live far away, you may want to just do it on your own. I'm going to go through what you actually say, because here's what I know is it's always better to ask them as quickly or to get together with them as quickly as possible. Because the other thing about team building is people will recruit closest to the product. People recruit closest to the product. So let's say you just did a facial with her, and you're going to ask her to just listen to the information. She is typically going to sign up. You know, if she's going to sign up, she'll sign up within like a few days or a week of getting together with you with the product. Does that make sense? That layering is huge in Mary Kay, that you want to be sure to layer them with team building, because a lot of people don't just sign up after maybe watching a video or whatever, that you may need to layer them. And so what that means is here's a couple things that I do for all my appointments is I always send them my video beforehand when I'm pre-profiling, which we talked about before. I pre-profile them, figure out, about their skin. And then my last question is, hey, also, if you have a quick minute, if you watch this video, I'll give you a free color item. So beforehand, they're coming into the appointment thinking about it. And then you do your eye story at the appointment and do a great eye story. And then obviously at our meetings here, we usually do marketing afterwards. I do ticket marketing afterwards after you close the sale. Now, if you're not doing ticket marketing at your appointments, then you're going to book, if you remember from closing, after you close the product and you book the second appointment, then you ask them to just listen to info about the business opportunity. So that would be, it's always best in person. It's always, 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 always best in person, where you can sit down and actually have a conversation with someone eyeball to eyeball. You're going to get way higher recruiting ratios if you can actually sit down with someone and talk to them face to face. Okay. So a 3-way call and a video are like low on the totem pole as far as recruiting ratios. You have to share the video with 10 people to get one person to maybe be interested. Okay. So that's just the odds. Now, if you guys can get me in front of someone, sitting down, meeting up for coffee, buy them lunch, come to coffee or whatever, usually the odds for me is like 2 or 3 to 1, 1 out of every 2 or 3. And so it's going to be so much better if we can actually set up these times. If there's someone, now let me be clear, if there's someone in target market that you think would be amazing at this. All right. So that, and that's important that we have in our coaching conversation too, when we're setting it up. Okay. So, layering is really, really, really important. And also maybe if it's someone that was interested before, like a long time ago, some of you have been around for a while, you may have someone who, you shared the info with before and she seemed interested at the time, but time has gone by and you kind of don't know where to go from there. You follow up with her occasionally. Get her in front of the product again. Get her in front of the product, because people recruit closest to the product. Contact her to, with new products coming out, contact her for gift giving. Say you'll come over and do a quick, I don't know, what are those called? A quick, where you do an appointment, what do they call? On the go. Yeah. Where you do a quick on the go. Do something where you can expose her to the product again. Does that make sense? Because then she's a lot more likely to sign up. And if you get her having a party for you, maybe you call her and say, hey, I have a goal to have do 10 show week. By the way, that's a whole other thing. Mary Kay challenges to do a 10 show week. But maybe contact her and say, oh my gosh, is there any reason you can get 3 ladies together? I have to do a 10 show week. And when you sell $100, $300, $500 to her friends, that's one of the best recruiting layering tools that you can do, right? So layering's huge. All right. So when you're actually with somebody, what do you say? Because those of you, and I would challenge some of you, if you feel comfortable, even if you're not in your red jacket yet, if you feel comfortable, and you want to try team building and you want to try sharing, or maybe I'm busy and you can't get together with me for, or she can't get together with me for 3 or 4 days, then just try sharing right there. But here's the key, is that you have me or your director follow up with them, okay, so that we can help you close it. So when you're sitting down with someone, it's very simple. Like, I give everybody these recruiting packets, and everything I do is very simple, simple, simple. When someone comes to an event, they get a recruiting packet. I emailed it out to you guys, and this has the old picture of the starter kit, but you'd have the new one in there. And all you do when you're sharing, that there's a lot of different ways you can share it, but this is a really simple way, is you go through the 10 reasons why people sign up, or the 10 reasons to consider Mary Kay. And you just go through these 10 reasons and you share from your heart what you love about each of these things. So it goes through excellent products, money, time flexibility, low startup costs, free ongoing education, advancement, prizes, recognition, tax deductions, Mary Kay the person, personal growth, and then we go to the starter kit. So you go through those 10 reasons just with her. What I love about this is this other side. Here, I'll pass these out. You guys can each have one and see what I'm talking about. But and then I put them in a cute little thing, and I give these to everybody that comes to an event. What I love about this, though, is it has a breakdown of how much she can make on average with the time that she's willing to invest. So you tell somebody, hey, if you have 2 hours a week, 2 to 5 hours a week, and you're doing those, and you're using that time to do parties, right? We want to be doing parties and not just facials. Then you could typically make an extra $400 a month on average. And so you show her how it doesn't have to take much time. And I emailed those out. You guys can make little packets, but you want to go through those. So you go through that. But here's the big thing about team building. It's not about the facts and figures. That gives you something to kind of go through and give them some information. When you're sharing with someone, you want to share with passion, and you want to share why you love your business. People sign up because of your excitement and your passion. I'm a great recruiter because I'm passionate about this opportunity, and I truly believe it's the best thing out there for women. That's why people sign up, not because of all the facts and figures. I've had people a lot of times say, Candace, I've heard this Mary Kay opportunity from a lot of different people, but there was something different about you, and I wanted to sign up and be a part of your team. Here's the other big thing. You've got to have a goal and be going somewhere, because women also want to be a part of a team that's going somewhere. That they want to be a part of a team that's going somewhere. That's why we're going to give you a big goal at the end. So at the end, you will be challenged to something that you'll be the first to be challenged to. That I want you to have a goal, because you've got to have a goal. You've got to have direction. Women want to be a part of a team of somebody that's going somewhere, right? So that's important. So get over yourself, and remember, you need to have a goal so that you can, because then you're more bold and you share with more people. Okay? All right. So that's what you actually share. But the 4 main reasons people sign up, and here's a fun little thing that, I don't know, it's a very simple way that you could share this way too. But you could share by using that. It doesn't matter. Like, you can have a binder. I have a little binder that I like to go through when I'm sitting down with someone for coffee. I have a little binder that I go through with pictures and all that. But you don't need to have a fancy binder if you don't have that right now. But you want to have something for those detail-oriented people who need to see it, right? Some of you are high personalities, like we talked about, last week or a couple weeks ago. And you're just like, you should go Mary Kay, it's great. And your C personality is like, oh God, this lady's crazy. She's not giving me no facts and no details, That my binder and giving them something like that will go through all the personality types. So it'll show the prizes and the fun time for the I personalities, but it'll also show how we can make our money for the D's and the C's who need to see the advancement potential, and they need to see that that there is some system to all of this. Does that make sense? That when you're sharing, that's why we talked about personality types before, is because you want to be sharing for all personality types. Okay? That if you're a high I, you want to attract all different personalities. You want to have all different personalities on your team. Okay? So the other cool thing that I like this is that there's 4 main reasons people sign up, and we already talked about these 4, but this is a very simple thing that I can email it out to, but it's a way to follow up with people. It says, women come into Mary Kay for typically 1 or all of the following reasons. The number 1 is fun. Number 2 is the flexibility, which we talked about. Number 3 is the money. And number 4 is hope. Those are the 4 main reasons why people join. And so, honestly, with team building, you could even just go through those 4 things. And if you're making it a really simple, quick appointment. Now, if you're doing these on your own, remember, like your script would say something like this, like, hey, I'm moving up my business. I'm becoming a red jacket by the end of the month. And I need to just share with people. I need to learn how to share this opportunity. You go through it. And then at the end you say, so I can get credit, and my director knows, and she'll follow up with you and see how I did. That's huge. See how I did, then I'm going to give her your name and number. And then she's going to follow up with you and see how I did. Does that make sense? That the follow-up is huge. Some of you said, oh yeah, I shared, like some of you guys see at the weekly meetings, oh yeah, I shared with all these people, but if we didn't get their numbers, it doesn't count as sharing appointments. because the follow-up is huge, because I wouldn't expect you guys to know what to say, right? It's just like with selling, you have to close the sale, right? And that's something that you know, I don't expect you to be great at right now. But the other thing we're going to talk about is how to close it, okay? If you're sitting there in person and you can't get a hold of me or whatever, it is, if you can close her on the spot, you're going to move a lot quicker, right? If you can close her on the spot, you can move so much quicker. Then you don't have to wait to get a hold of me and all that stuff. That I want you to get good at closing them on the spot as well, okay? Because here's the other thing, and it's kind of a catch-22. Hold on, let me grab one real quick. It's kind of a catch-22 because, yes, it is good to share all the information with them, but here's the other thing is, sometimes I see people totally overcomplicate it. That if someone's right there and she's ready to sign up, sign her up. Sign her up. I have people all the time that they'll recruit people at their skincare classes. And I mean, I signed up at a facial. I mean, we weren't even done for the product and I was asking questions and we signed up. So don't feel like also that, oh, we have to go through all these facts and figures. You know, if she's excited and you tell her, hey, I love what I do. I need team members. I'd love to have you on my team. This is an amazing opportunity because of blah, 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 blah. She doesn't also need all the details either sometimes. Does that make sense? Sometimes we overcomplicate it, that if she's right there and she's interested and you share with excitement and passion, you sign her up. That don't feel like, so I want you to get good too at working through these objections, okay? Because usually once people hear the information, they're gonna have some objection. That's just normal. And I want you to be equipped and know what to say, okay? Because just because someone has an objection doesn't mean that they're not interested, right? That a lot of times their objection, 9 times out of 10, these examples or these things that we're gonna go through, they boil down to fear. They boil down to fear. And the bottom line is the person is just afraid. They're afraid that they're throwing up some reason, which by the way, all these things that we'll go through, usually they'll throw up some reason and that's not the real reason. Then they'll throw up some other reason, that's not the real reason. They'll throw up some other reason, that's not the real reason. The real reason is they're usually afraid. Does that make sense? And so, but you kind of want to know what to say. All right, so we'll kind of go through these really quickly. Those of you watching online, we do have this, we do have this, the sheet for you. So if someone tells you, oh, that sounds great, I already have a full-time job, you know, you at least want to talk to them. And here's what I know about team building and anything is the whole feel, felt, found method. Oh, I get the way you feel. You know, I thought that too. I felt that way too, but here's what I found. That there's tons of people in Mary Kay that have full-time jobs, and you share stories and give examples. Write that down. With overcoming objections, one of the best things you can do is give stories and examples of other people's stories. You know, oh, you have a full-time job. Oh, that's totally fine. Most people who start this, they have a full-time job. You know, share stories of people that had a full-time job, became a director, and are super successful. Like I always like to share Darby's story. She's a teacher. She's super busy, super duper duper busy. She's back in Virginia, and her husband owns his own business and is gone all the time, and so she literally is a single mom, and she works full time and she's a teacher. Anyone who knows about teaching, that's like not a 40-hour week job. That's at least 60, right? And she is a successful director and doing a free car in Mary Kay, right? And so you share stories, right? I'm too busy. I get it. I'm busy too. And share Leah's stories. You know, you always want to share stories. If my children are too young, perfect. You will let the flexibility of Mary Kay. Usually, okay, write this down. Whatever objection they give you is usually the reason why they need Mary Kay. Let that sink in for a second. The objection they give you is usually the reason why they need Mary Kay. Oh, I work a full-time job, or I'm too busy. Well, that's why they need Mary Kay, because, you know, would it not be, you know, more fun, and would her life not be more peaceful and more joyful if she wasn't so crazy busy, right? You know, my children are too young. Well, that's why you could use something like this, because where else are you going to find something that is this flexible, you know, that you don't have to put your kids in daycare for 40 hours a week, you know? Do you see how, I could never do that? No, that's why you need to do this, because obviously your confidence is low. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever reason they give you is usually the reason why they need this, okay? I don't have the money. You hear that all the time. I don't have the money. Well, that's why you need to do this, so that you can make extra money, right? Whatever objection they give you is usually their reason why. and they're Soul Cosmetics. I think I'll wait until blah, blah, blah. I'm too shy. Here's just some examples as far as what to say. My husband doesn't want me to work. Or a lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, my husband will tell you no. Well, first of all, sometimes that's just a cop-out. And sometimes they're blaming their husband. So you got to find out that fine line. Sometimes there's like, oh, my husband would say no, but really he doesn't care. She's just throwing him under the bus and she's using him as an excuse. So I just ask questions. But if her husband really would tell her no and he's really that controlling, that's sad. You know what I mean? And so you want to ask questions. You want to ask questions. So, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What do you think he would like about this? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm asking her questions. Any objection, I usually go back with a question. Or you say, you know, if someone tells me probably the biggest objection I get is I don't have the $100. And so I ask them that question back. Well, now like there's one of two things you can ask is, number one, are you okay with not having an extra $100? Because some people are okay with not having extra $100, but most people tell you no. You know, that they want to change that. Say, you know what, if we could somehow find a way to come up with that extra $100, would there be anything else that would hold you back? Or if I could show you how to turn that $100 into $300 extra, you know, in your first week, if you're willing to do the work and willing to do skincare classes, do you think you could find the $100? You know, if I could show you how to turn that $100 into $300, do you think you could find that $100? Because here's what we know about women: when they want something, they find a way, right? And if they really want something, they find a way. And so you got to ask questions. Does that make sense? How you're not just like ramming back at her. Oh, it's okay. Like, you don't, you know, go find the $100. Who do you know that'll lend it to you? You want to ask her questions and get her thinking, right? That you attract people when you ask questions and you get her thinking about it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you don't have an extra $100. Are you okay with that? Do you want to change that situation? And get her thinking. Because a lot of times she just throws up that excuse, which our society is so quick to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't do it because of this, 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 and this. You know, where if you show her the value of this is a short-term investment that could make you some extra money and could really change her life, then the choice is hers, right? And whether she chooses to come up with that $100 is her choice, right? That's why you always see me here offering a decision maker bonus, because I know that, well, here's another thing about team building is that I know that if they're going to come up with $100, they are usually going to find it within 24 to 48 hours, or they're typically not going to sign up at all. Once somebody's there in front of you, the odds of them signing up goes down drastically. So that's why if you can get good at overcoming their objections and asking questions, you're going to you're going to have a lot higher recruiting ratio. Because once they leave, then fear sets in. And so after that first 24 hours, if they don't sign up, the odds of them signing up goes down drastically. That if it's been more than 24 to 48 hours, then you don't want to just keep asking her, are you ready to sign up? Are you ready to sign up? Are you ready to sign up? Usually she needs some layering. Hey, will you come? I need a guest Monday night. Will you come as a guest? We're doing it's the last one that we're doing, the Faces for a Good Cause. It's a perfect reason to follow up with people and say, hey, I'd love to have you come. It's our last, week that we're doing Faces for a Cause. Would love to have you come. Get her in front of the product again. And because she probably just needs some layering and she let fear set in, right? So these are the examples. The big ones that I encounter are, I don't have money, I don't know anybody, and I'm too busy. I would say those are the big ones that I hear, the big objections. Here's some other little things as far as what to say. But do you know what to say for each of those? And basically, you tell them, give them stories. I totally get it. Get that you're busy. Actually, would you know that most busy women do best in Mary Kay? You know what I mean? Like, you're just informing her, right? Or most people who do best in Mary Kay are super busy, right? Okay, share stories. Got it? So you have objections. You know how to overcome them. And then the last thing about how to close. These are probably some of my favorite questions that if you want to get really good at recruiting, learn to master these questions. Like, literally carry this with you to your appointments and say, okay, after you share the information, then you say, okay, part of my training is, and my director told me at the appointments, I need to ask these 5 questions at the end. Blame it on me. Okay, say, my director told me after I share the information, I have to ask you these 5 questions. You guys, if you want to get great at team building, you ask these 5 questions at the end. And they're brilliant, because these questions get them answering their own answers, or basically they recruit themselves, okay? So print this out, commit it to memory. The best closing question, these are the best closing questions I've ever heard. So I would keep this in front of you whenever you're sharing with people, okay? And then at the end say, I just need to ask these questions, okay? So after you share, oh, and then at the end it says, they've not, okay, blah, 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 blah. You can tell someone all the benefits of becoming a consultant. They can listen to you and nod their head and think to themselves, okay, but that's your opinion. That's nice for you. They've not bought into what you're saying. For them to buy in, they have to hear it in their own words, in their own voice. When you ask someone a question and they answer it, they're hearing their own voice. If they're answering the right question, they will convince themselves, right? And then they convince themselves. Your job at an appointment is not to convince her to sell Mary Kay. Let's be clear. That is not your job. You're there to share, and then these questions help her convince herself. But you're there to just share and have a conversation with her about it, okay? But these 5 questions are great. All right, number 1, if you don't become a consultant, what will be improved a year from now? If you don't become a consultant, what will be improved a year from now? Powerful, because you're asking them to look at their life a year from now. If they don't say yes to the opportunity, 9 times out of 10, not much will have changed. They'll be at the same job. They'll be making the same amount, maybe 25 cents more an hour, like whatever. They're usually going to be in the same position. So you're asking them, first of all, taking it away from them. If you don't say yes, what would change, right? Number 2, if you were to become a consultant today, what will be improved a year from now? The wording here is very important. Notice that you didn't ask them what would be different. You asked them what would be improved. You also use the word will instead of would, which gives a sense of expectation. When you're asking closing questions, you can, by your own choice of question, direct the type of answer they'll give you. For this question, they'll tell you in their own voice what would be better about their life a year from now if they became a consultant. So they know they're going to answer it, and they'll hear it in their own voice. In that process, they begin to convince themselves that this is what they want. Does that make sense? Well, if I did sign up for Mary Kay, then maybe I would have more money. Maybe I would have more girlfriends. Maybe I would have more fun in my life. Maybe I would have more self-confidence. So they hear, they're hearing the positive things that could happen, right? Number 3, this is a good one. Put a big star by this one. What qualities do you have that would make you shine as a consultant? What qualities do you have that would make you shine as a consultant? This is powerful because what do women say when you say, oh, you'd be great at Mary Kay? They rattle off the reasons why they would not be great at Mary Kay. That is the very first thing that pops up. Those of you, we're going to talk about directorship and moving up in a second. So many people that the first things that they rattle off is, oh, I can never be a great director because I don't have all this. Instead of focusing on why would you be a great director? Why would you be a great Mary Kay consultant? Because we negate all that. And that is us being super hard on ourselves, right? And women do the exact same thing. So this question is powerful. You don't ask her why she wouldn't be a consultant, wouldn't be a great consultant. She's already going to spout those off at you, right? That you ask her, what qualities do you have that would make you shine as a consultant? You get her thinking about what are some of the reasons why I could maybe be good at this. Do you know what I always ask, or what I always tell women? Because so many times women tell me, I'm not the sales type. I don't know anybody. I'm shy. I don't wear makeup. And they tell me all the reasons why they think they can be great at Mary Kay. And I tell them, you know what? It doesn't matter about all those things. My question for you is, do you like to help other people? Because if people like to help other people, they'd be great at this. If somebody doesn't want to help other people, then okay, then you don't need to be a Mary Kay consultant. Because just like we've talked about, this is not about us. This is about helping other people. And I've said it in warm chattering. I've said it in booking. I've said it in sales. I've said it in team building. You've got to be about helping other people and truly have her best needs in the forefront of your mind. That if she isn't a nice person and doesn't want to help people, then that is the only quality trait or quality that I think discounts someone to be a Mary Kay consultant. Otherwise, I think everyone else could be great at it. Does that make sense? So they're going to shoot off at you all those reasons. And we all, and here's the funny thing, we all had those reasons, right? We all had those reasons why we didn't think we'd be great at Mary Kay, right? And so you learn, no, she's normal. But you get her thinking about why she could possibly be good at this. The fourth and fifth one are going to help you close the sale or close the deal. What are the 2 most important reasons for you to become a consultant today? This is a powerful question. You want to put a big star by this one because this is her why. We talked about before, you got to know your why. This is her reason why. And this is powerful. It says, okay, powerful question, especially the use of the word today, which adds a sense of urgency. Because you're asking them for only 2 reasons, And they'll pick the two most important ones. It might be their family or their children or their finances or because they don't want to work at JOB anymore. They're going to tell you the two most important reasons they need to become a consultant today. You don't have to convince them. If you ask the right questions, they convince themselves. Mm-hmm. So you say, what are the two most important reasons for you to become a consultant today? That is gold to you. Here's why. When she throws out those objections, you remind her of her reasons. For example, let's say someone tells you, my two biggest reasons why I want to start this today is I want to be able to stay home with my kids and not put them in daycare. And I want to relieve some stress from my husband because he works so hard at his job. Let's say those are the two reasons why she says she wants to sign up. Then later on, when she throws that objection at me and says, oh, but I don't know people. Oh, but I don't have $100. I say, well, Dina, if I could show you how to come up with that $100 so that you could stay home with your kids and relieve that financial pressure from your husband, do you think you'd come up with $100? Ouch, right? That's going to remind her, oh yeah, that's why I want to do this. That little $100, why am I going to let that little $100 hold me back from what I really want to stay home with my kids and to relieve that financial pressure? You got to remind her because she lets fear set in when she talks about, oh, I don't know people. Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I'm too this. If someone tells you you're busy, you ask them a question. Do you think you could find an extra 2 to 3 hours a week so that we can get you staying home with your kids and relieving that financial pressure from your husband? You see how you're bringing that back to her? That's powerful. You can't do that over Facebook. You can't do that over text. That has to be face-to-face, right? And when you're face-to-face with her, you can have that. Because if you send that text over text message, she won't respond.
Ignore.
She won't respond. And then she'll think you're pushy. You're not being pushy. You're reminding her of what she said she wanted. And she can only feel the tone when you're actually there in person and hear your heart. Does that make sense? That's why when you're with these people, if you can share the information and you can go through it, and you don't need me to recruit people. Let me be clear. If you want to do some practice ones, great, but you don't need me to recruit people. New people sign people up all day long. They didn't tell them all the facts and figures. They didn't tell them all the marketing plan and how we make all this percent and that percent. No, they shared why they love their business and they're excited. And when women see someone excited about something, they're usually intrigued because most people are not excited to get out of bed in the morning. They're not excited about anything in their life. That don't hold back from your passion. If she's right there and you want to share, here's some things that you can do, but don't discount the element of passion and the excitement piece, okay? So you don't need me to recruit. Let me be clear. You don't need your director to recruit at all. I'm just here to help you, but you don't need me. Does that make sense? And then the fifth one is, it does sound like you'd be an excellent consultant. Why don't you give it a try? This is huge. It sounds like you'd be an excellent consultant. Why don't you give it a try? The reason this question is so powerful because they think about, when they think about giving something a try, they believe they have options and they're just testing it out. They don't believe that they're making a decision. In actuality, they are making a decision, but it gives them the feeling of having an out. That question, in its exact words, why don't you give it a try, will allow them to give themselves permission to say yes. Because the other thing I always say, if you guys hear me share my marketing plans, I'm always like, don't overthink it, ladies, because that's usually what they do. They overthink it and they think, oh God, it's like a job. I got to commit all this and rearrange my whole life. And oh my gosh, I can't, add an extra thing to my already busy plate. Right? They totally overthink. Oh, and then they think, oh, what if I fail? What if this? What if that? I remind them, it's $100. You spend $100 all the time. This $100 could change your life, right? And I show them the deal. Take that fear away. Take that huge, big decision away from them, right? And feel free to offer my decision maker bonus. When you're sitting there in front of someone, feel free to offer my decision maker bonus. And then if she doesn't sign up right away, you send me her name and number ASAP. And you let me follow up with her ASAP because time is of the essence. Some of you don't give me the numbers of your people for like a week later. Well, good luck recruiting them.
Can you remind us what that is?
The decision maker bonus is that they sign up that day or within 24 hours. I give them $50 a product for free. That comes from me, not from you. Does that make sense? All right. So, team building. Y'all feel like pros now? Now you got to go implement. I'm officially challenging you. Well, if you remember, part of one of the challenges this month is to have 10 people and 20 people just listen to the info about the business opportunity. I'm going to challenge you to do 5 career chats on your own. To do 5 career chats on your own. All you got to do is just go through this little guy, go through the 10 reasons. Then you're going to tell them, hey, part of my training is I got to ask you these 5 questions at the end. If you can't close them there, you send me their name and number. Okay? You've been officially challenged to sit down and share with someone face to face. And if you're at your facials, then that's what you go through afterwards. Okay? If she can't meet up with you, then you set it, or if she can't do it right then and there, set up a time within 24 to 48 hours that you can meet with them. If I can be there, great. If I can't be there, you do it on your own. You guys don't need me to recruit, okay? I'd love to help you and I want to help you, but you don't need me as well, okay? All right, got it? Okay, you guys are gonna share with people, right? Okay, so now we're gonna talk about how this could benefit you. Obviously, we wanna make it about her, right? It's all about her, it's not about us. But I'm gonna talk about moving up. And a lot of you have heard this before. You've been to my Go Director Fast class, but none of you are directors yet, so obviously it hasn't sunk in yet. That I want to remind you that I love you, but obviously I haven't done it yet, okay? And you need to hear it again and again and again, obviously, if you're not there yet. Because right now, directorship is on sale, people. It is. I have never seen them offer this, that those of you that said you want to be a director at the Go Director Fast class thing, why aren't you doing it? Why don't you have 10 team members? Are you afraid? Are you getting in your own head?
Yes.
Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Same thing with team building. All you need to do to be a great director is, do you like to help people? Do you like to help people? Do you like to help people? I don't hear any answers.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. Then you can be a great, then you'll be a great director. You don't need to know how to run a meeting. I did not have a clue about that. You don't have to worry about any of that. All you need to know is, do you want to help other people?
Yes.
And do you want to help other people be the best versions of themselves?
Yes.
Do you want to help them make money? Thank you, Pam. Then you would be a great director. Stop letting fear hold you guys back from the influence and the lives that you can change. Get over yourself. Stop letting fear hold you back from changing your life and your family situation. Because here's what I know. If you guys make a decision today to really run full out and be in DIQ by November 1st, every single one of you could. Whether you choose to do it is up to you. Whether you get in your own head and let your own insecurities and your own fears and your own doubts get in the way, that's your choice. But know that you could, because you've all heard the stories. And, you know, you've all heard the stories of people that sign up and 48 hours later, they're in DIQ. They didn't let fear hold them back. They didn't have all the baggage. If you've been in more than 48 hours, you got baggage. No, I'm serious. Like you get in your own head, you got your own insecurities, you got your own doubts. And so be too dumb to doubt. Be too dumb to doubt. I think I became a director quick because I was too dumb to doubt. My director told me to get 5 names a day, and I always did it because that's what I thought everyone did. I didn't have time to doubt, oh, maybe not everyone out there gets 5 names a day. That's just what my director told me, and I didn't. I didn't compare myself to anyone else. I didn't know any different. Be too dumb to doubt, and I'm telling you, you can be in DIQ by November 1st. Why not? It's on sale. You'd be crazy to wait till December 1st. The only reason you're waiting till December 1st is you're afraid. If that's your goal December 1st, you're afraid. Why be afraid? Especially those of you who have God in your life. You know, it's not about you. He can do anything. He made the world in 6 days, and he rested on the 7th. I think you can find 8 human beings who would say yes. Seriously. 8 human beings who have a social security number and need to change their life. Seriously. No. Okay, so we're going to talk about the marketing plan and how to move up in Mary Kay. This I texted out. I don't have the PDF of it. I don't know what happened. I don't have the PDF of it, but I posted the picture in our group or in our Voxer group. So this talks about it pays to share. At the bottom, it talks about how we move up, right? You become a senior consultant. That's 1 active team member. You start making 4% commission. Star team builder is 3 or more. You make 4% commission. You get $50 team building bonus for every qualified team member. 5 or more, you're a team leader. 9 to 13% commission. This is when you get a raise. When you get to your 5 active team members, you make 9 or 13%. Write this down somewhere because it doesn't say on there. You make okay, no, it says at the top. Sorry, it does say that. 9% you make when you just have 5 active team members. 13% you make when 5 of them order in 1 month. So 5 of them have to order 225 and you personally order 600. Okay? Because they want you selling. We all should be ordering 600 a month from our sales. And they want you selling and team building. This is not a pyramid level company. We want you selling and team building. And so 13% when you order 600 wholesale, and then you have 5 team members ordering 225 in a month. It makes a huge difference. And then at the bottom it says you go on target for your car when you have 5+ active team members, and then you have 5,000 wholesale between you and your team. You all could also go on target for your car this month. We'll talk about that in a second too. All right. So this is pretty cool. We'll go over this little chart really quickly. Team production. If your team does 1,000, you make $40 extra when you're a senior consultant. When your team does 1,000 and you're a team leader, you make $90. When you make 13% on 1,000, it's $130 extra. All the way down to 5,000. If your team does 5,000, those of you that maybe have someone come in with inventory, this month you'd be crazy not to get to 13%. Because that same order, you make 200 when you're only a senior or even a red jacket. You make 9% off that order, your people's order, when you have 5 active, so 450. And when you make 13%, when your team's doing 5,000 or more, you make $650. Could you excited about an extra $650 a month, right? Mm-hmm. And that is for just team building and sharing the opportunity with people. Because if you want to build a solid business, you want to be selling, like we talked about the first 4 classes were all about selling and making money from the sales. You want to be team building at the same time. If you want to be moving quickly, you want to be doing both, right? So, all right, so you guys can see you can make money with team building, right? Yes. Here's the other thing. Oh, I'm going to share these really quickly, and then I'll pass around this, because some of you have seen this, some of you haven't, but those of you that have a desire to really move up and really make a lot of money, then this is for you. But I'm going to go over some recruiting do's and don'ts really quickly before we move on to that. And while I'm passing this out, I'm going to go over the CAR program too, and then the differences between the two. Okay, recruiting do's and don'ts. Here's a couple recruiting do's and don'ts. These I do want you to write down, or at least listen while you're passing those around, okay? Some do's and don'ts about recruiting. Sorry, we'll go back to recruiting. Do's, you encourage them and you support them every step of the way. That is really all you need to do as a team leader, is you encourage them and you support them. It is not your job to get her to order. It is not her job to do any of that. It's your job to encourage her. You can help them open the starter kit if you want and walk through it if you want. You can help them get to a meeting, give them a ride if necessary, let them know the importance of meetings, because we all know those are super important. Encourage them to spend some time on In Touch and our unit website. Encourage her to do my training videos. You encourage her to work on creating a contact list. You encourage her to watch a facial, either yours or someone else's. You encourage her to start booking her faces. You encourage her to start booking career chats. So those are the do's. Here's the don'ts. And this is big. Don't complain about your business and talk negatively about where you're at. You only reach up and share that with your director. I'm going to say this again. Do not complain to your team members about your business and why you're not where you want to be and how they're da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I am shocked with some of the things I hear people say to their team members. You reach up in Mary Kay. If you are complaining, you complain to me and to me alone. You do not complain to each other, and you definitely do not complain to your team members, okay? Catch yourself, because you want to be a great team leader, and the only way you're a great team leader is when you all you have to do is to be a great team leader is you encourage them. Remember, it's not about you. Her success has nothing to do with you, but so many people are afraid, just like Becky had said, afraid of them signing up because, then what do I got to do with them? You don't have to do anything with them. You encourage her and you love on her. That's all you got to do. It's my job to help her do all those other things, okay? Here's a big don't. Write this one down. Big, 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 big. You don't do everything for them. Write that down. Put a big star next to it. I can't tell you how many recruiters I see going and doing their first parties and going and, doing all this for that and going and doing all this for that for them. No. When you do that, you are enabling them. You are enabling them. You want them to be strong, powerful, confident women. Nobody did it for you. Let them do things for themselves. Here's what I know is when I do too much for her, she always goes away. When I don't do much for her, she sticks around. I'm serious. And then what happens? You do all this stuff for somebody, you print up all this stuff, you give her all this stuff that you think will help, and when she goes away to Mary Kay heaven, you get mad. I did all that for you and you didn't stick around. Well, that's shame on you because you did too much for her. You want them to be strong. And I hope you hear my heart on that, in that you want them to be strong. You don't want to do everything for them. You encourage them, you love on them, but you don't do everything for them. Mary Kay Ash had a saying, you have them learn while you earn. If you want to be a great team member, one of the best things she can do is to see you working. You take her with you to your facials. You go out, maybe you guys go out and you warm chatter together. You get your, oh my gosh, I've seen people do this. They go out with their team members, they get all these names and they give all the names to the team members. Shame on you. No, get her to get her own names. You get your own names. You're both working. She's watching you work. It encourages you to be working, but you're bringing her with you. You're making money while she's learning. Does that make sense? That's the best things you can do for her. So don't do everything for them. What? Lead by example. That is the best way to lead, is by example, example, example. And here's what I know is you care about people. And I've done this. The reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I've done it. I care about people so much. I want to help them so much. And I want to help them be successful because I love what I do. But I've helped them too much and I've enabled them. And I've done all their first parties for them. And I've done it with all their family and their sisters and their friends. And then they run out of people. They need to practice on their friends and their family because they're less afraid. I can do it for anybody, right? That's why you want her to be strong, and she will be strong when you do less for her. You encourage her. That is the only thing you need to do. You encourage her and you have her learn while you earn, okay? Well, and you got to be able to do for one what you could do for 20. Some of you are so afraid to have team members because you feel like you got to do all this stuff for them. Then I'm like, oh my God, how could I have 10 people and then 20 people if I got to do all this stuff for them? No, you need to be working your personal business. They come with you, right? And then it's not your job to talk about inventory or whatever. That's my job. You always want to encourage them back to the director, especially if you don't have a question or whatever. Once they listen to the director, then you can explain how you started and help them make a decision for themselves. But those are the do's and don'ts. Okay, felt like I had to go over that really quickly because I don't want to forget about that. Okay, so now we're going to go on to director and compensation program. I think most of you have seen this. If you don't have this handout, I don't have a ton of them, but I think all of you that went to the Go Director Fast Class thing, you should have it. So if you weren't there, then take one. And that just talks about the income that's available there as a director. Okay, so, but we're going to go over this guy. You all have this consultant versus director commission comparison. This is an updated one. This is why those of you that are money driven or those of you that have a financial need, I don't think any of you are money driven. I don't mean that, but I mean you have a financial need in your life, or you want to relieve stress from your husband, or you want to make money. This will show you why you want to be a director for the exact same activity. Okay, so you do $10,000 in a month as a consultant. It assumes that you have a small personal team and you grew by 5 qualified people this month. So this month, all of you could make this as a consultant. Get excited. You all could make this as a consultant. 5 new team members. You do $10,000 in production between you and your team. And your commission off of that is $14.72. You don't have to understand all, but just know that your commission for $10,000, you and your team, is telling you what each of them ordered. Your commission as a consultant plus your bonuses is $1,400. Could you get excited about $1,400 extra dollars in your pocket, right? And it's assuming that you are working and you're selling $1,000 a week in sales, which when you're doing 3 to 5 parties a week, which is the activity level that you want to be at to be making awesome money in Mary Kay, you're going to be profiting an extra $2,000 a month. So you'd be making $3,400 as a consultant. That'd be awesome, right? So that's as a consultant. Now, as a director, if you did the exact same activity, you had those exact same people come in, here in the middle, it explains the commission as a director. that you would be looking at $4,500. You don't have to understand all the bonuses, but you'd be looking at $4,500 instead of your $1,400, which is still really good as a consultant, plus your $2,000 in personal sales, because we as directors, a director still works. Let me be clear. As a director, I'm a glorified consultant. Don't you dare think for a second that you get to directorship and you stop working your personal business. If you stop working your personal business, you will not be a director very long. And I've seen it happen where people become a director and then they do absolutely nothing. This is not a pyramid level company, you guys. You don't just get to directorship and expect all the people underneath you to be working. No, you're working, you get paid more for the same activity. So when you become a director, you're not typically going to be working a lot more. You're going to be doing the same things that you're doing right now. You're just going to be paid more for them. Does that make sense? Most minimum directors, minimum director maybe works 8 to 10 hours a week. That's a minimum, minimum base director. And I have lots of director friends. They still keep their full-time job and they're a director at the same time. So it doesn't take, you guys look at me and I have 300 plus people in my unit. I'm obviously, at the top of the director game. Where I'm at right now is not where you would start out as a director. I work 40 hours a week and I love it. And I work, I'm proud of it. But I wouldn't expect you guys to be at that place yet. As a new director, you wouldn't have enough to do for 40 hours a week. Seriously, you wouldn't have the team to sustain it. Does that make sense? That as a new director with your 24 people, you would maybe be working 10 hours a week. Okay? But you're still working. Let me be clear. You're still working to make the most money. If you look at the marketing plan, yes, I have a big, huge unit, but I make a lot more money on my own personal people than I do on my entire unit. That it is smarter for me to bring in my own personal people. And I love my unit. I want to help build my unit's people, but I get paid a lot more money off my own personal people. So why the heck would I stop working? Right? That is the dumbest thing a new director can do. All right, little side note. So as a director, the exact same activity, you'd be making $7,000. 10 hours a week, $7,000 extra. Could you get excited? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
So it's willing to push through your stinking fear of whatever your fears are about you and about, I don't look stupid. What if I fail? And what if I this? The worst thing that happens is you get there and you don't like it. And it's not for you. And that's okay. It's not this huge thing. Let's say you become a director and it's not for you, or you realize your passion isn't there or whatever. Oh, well, you usually have made more money in the process. You're not going to lose money. You're only going to make more money. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to make more money. And I know y'all would not be complaining about that, right? So what are you afraid of? Why not go for it? You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So remember, get over yourself. And it could radically change your life. This talks about all the other benefits and all the other bonuses. There is, of course, a lot more, income potential at the director level. But more importantly, I love the influence. You're able to help more people. You're able to help more people change their lives. And you get compensated for it. Our commission checks in Mary Kay always said, your commission check is a direct reflection of the lives that you have changed. Your commission check, write that down, is a direct reflection of the lives that you have changed and the lives that you have touched. That if your commission check is low, you have not helped and touched very many people's lives. That the money is just a reflection of the people who you have helped. All right? Not that you can't help them with the sales, but you can help them really change their lives radically by team building, right? And like we said, all of you stay in Mary Kay because of all those other things you love. That why not share that with everybody and you get paid more for it, right? So the qualifications right now are super duper duper crazy, ridiculously easy, but here's the normal requirements. So here's the normal requirements that this other sheet helps you track both, because you can earn your free car and become a director at the same time. At the top left, it has the cruise requirements, okay? So this is to earn the first level car, which, here's the deal. Right now, directorship is on sale, yes, but I want you guys focused on earning the car. If you earn the car right now during DIQ, you're going to be a much stronger director. So why not go on target? You guys could go on target for your car this month, which I'll explain in a second, and then when you're in DIQ, you can finish your car at the same time. We'll go over that in a second. So cruise requirements. So this is the first level car. To To earn it, it's 23,000 wholesale, and it can take 1 to 4 months. Okay, so it says at the top, earn your car and become a director in 1 to 4 months. So all of this can be done in 1 to 4 months. So cruise requirements is 23,000 wholesale. You have to have 16 active team members at the end of that 1 to 4 months. You have to have a minimum of 5,000 combined wholesale each month during the qualification period. So that means each month that you're going on target, you have to have 5,000. Okay, so you go on target for your car. What month is this? October, December, January, February. You have to have 5,000 each month, and you end up with 23,000 at the end. Make sense? You can contribute up to 5,000 personally wholesale. Your team has to do the other 18,000. So, and it doesn't. Oh, and then it says to start the journey for your car, you have to have 5 or more active and do 5,000 in 1 month. That's how you go on target for your car. So any of you could go on target for your car this month by having 5 active team members, and your orders between you and your team equal 5,000 a month. You go on target for your car. Pretty exciting, right? Mm-hmm. You all could do that. But why not stretch to get into DIQ? So this is the normal DIQ requirements. Normally it's 18,000 over the qualification. You have to have 24 active over the 1 to 4 months. You have to have a minimum of 4,000 each month. You can contribute up to 4,000. You have to have 5 new personal active qualified. So that's the normal requirements. Right now, and I'm going to double check because I'm trying to think how long. I think it's only 3 months now. Mm-hmm. I want to say it's 3 months. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's even less production, which is just crazy. Guys, I've never, ever, ever seen them do this. So now is the time to do this. So I want you to write down so that way I get it done correctly. You guys probably already know. I think I deleted that one. So normally you have to go into DIQ with that 10 active, and then you have to have been a star the previous quarter. But right now, I deleted that JPEG. That was dumb. Anyways, right now, I just want to make sure that I've got it correct. But I'm sure you guys all know. But it is.
Don't say your.
Here we go. 8 active team members to go in. So that's it. 8 active team members to go in. You don't have to have all the other. Oh, I just saw it right there. You don't have to have all the other things like have 10 active and have been a star. All you have to do is have. Okay, here we go. I don't know why that took me so long to find it. You have to have 8 active, and then never mind. This is not on here. What is wrong with me? Okay, U plus 8. Here we go. I'm like, I swear I was like right here. So then the qualification is, it takes 3 months, 1 to 3 months. You guys could be a director by Christmas. Seriously, you guys realize that? But you've got to get, and you could join us in Atlanta. Those of you that said you wanted to join us in Atlanta several months ago, now's the time to do it.
And it's free.
It's free. Atlanta Leadership is my favorite conference of the year, and it's in January. And you can only come as a new director. And that means you need to get into DIQ November 1st. You need to get into DIQ November 1st so you can join us. Because you can be finished. The easiest way to do it is not to take all 3 months, but to take 2 months. 1 to 2 months. Because all the people you get active this month in October, they're going to fall off January 1st. So if you go into the 3rd month, you have to get all the people active that you got to get in this month. Does that make sense? And so the easiest way to do it is to finish it by Christmas. Here's the deal, is you are holding yourself back and letting fear hold yourself back from pushing. There's going to be a push at some point. If you're going to make this happen, you need to push now. Why wait? Why wait for the push, people? Okay, so 1 to 3 months, and you have to have 24 active, no qualified team members. Normally you have to have qualified team members. And instead of 18,000, this is crazy. Instead of 18,000, you only have to have 13,005. That's crazy. I've never seen them lower the bar on production. This is the time to become a director, you guys. I've never seen it be this easy. Those of you that are thinking it's so hard, which it's not hard. It's only hard when you're not working. It's hard when you're not working. Write that down. DIQ is easy when you're working. DIQ is hard when you're not doing the activity. And the activity is 3 to 5 parties a week. You do that activity, it is not hard. It is the easiest. I have seen people over the last year. We had 2 people become directors. Brianna and Darby became directors, and it was the easiest, most graceful thing because they were working. They were working and they were doing the activity. And when you're doing the activity, DIQ is easy. When you're not doing the activity, you get in your own head and it becomes hard, right? All right, so this is the time to do it. 8 active, all you need is 8 people by the end of the month, and you go into DIQ, you can finish by Christmas. All you need is, and when you're in DIQ, those 8, anybody that they bring in, count towards your 24, and that 13,005 is going to come from your team. I've never seen the qualifications be this easy.
Does that 13.5 also include your recruits?
Yep, recruits people. So like, yeah, like if you were my personal person and we're in DIQ and you recruit somebody and they recruit somebody, it doesn't matter how many lines down. When you're in DIQ, all of their orders count towards a 13.5.
Okay, but anything before that
doesn't count. Then that's why those of you that have team members that are working, you better get your butt in gear and you better hustle and get into DIQ, because once they start recruiting people, you will never get those people back. They recruit before you go in. So now's the time to get them in. Don't let that hold you back. Use that as a kick in the butt. That's why you need to do it now. Okay? So all of you can get into DIQ by the end of the month. Do you believe that?
Yes.
You believe that?
Yes.
Are you going to go make that happen?
Yes.
I didn't hear the yeses excited.
Yes.
Are you going to go make that happen?
Yes. Yes.
Why not? You guys, why not? And we're building our national area. I'm looking for leaders to rise up, but you got to get over yourself and stop being afraid. Stop let fear holding you back from something that can radically change your life. There's most of you in the room have come to the Go Director Fest. You've heard all this information. Now is your window that you said you wanna, and you're gonna. How long are you gonna wait? Like, I've never, ever in 13 years seen, those of us that have been around for a long time, have never seen them do this. Then I'm having a very real conversation with you, Tin, that if you want to do it, now's the time. Stop making excuses. Stop letting fear hold you back. Suck it up and do it and be brave. That there is a push. You're going to be afraid. There's a push, but now is the time to push. And to really jump all in and throw your heart over the line. Because some of you have said you pushed before, but I know you didn't really push. You held yourself back. You push yourself to a certain extent, but not really. That if you tell me, like, that there's 3 different levels of commitment. And some of you have heard me say this before, where you say, oh, I'll try, Candace. That sounds great. I'll try to get into the IQ. And what do you do when you say that? You let yourself off the hook automatically. Here's the other thing that lets yourself off the hook, but a lot of you will do this. You say, I'll give it my best shot and we'll see what happens. And if it happens, it happens. Nope, not going to happen. When I hear those words, I know it's not happening, because you're giving yourself a way out. And you're giving yourself a way out. Here's the only way that it will happen is if you say, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I don't know how. I don't know where my team is. I don't know who my team members are, but I'm doing it. When you get yourself to that commitment level, there is nothing that will stop you. And people will see that when you're sharing. Say, I'm becoming a director. I'm getting a DIQ November 1st. I don't know how, but I want people on my team and I want you. Are you coming or not? And you share differently because you've thrown your heart over the line. But a lot of you haven't thrown your heart over the line, and you're letting fear hold you back, and you're giving yourself a way out. You're saying, oh, I'll try. And if it happens, it happens. If it's meant to be. I hate when people say that. No, you will make things happen in this business. You don't wait for you don't just throw it up and say, well, if it happens, it happens. No, you make things happen. But usually we're letting fear hold you back, and don't let fear hold you back anymore. Okay, all that to say, I want you to do it. I believe in you, but now's the time to do it and throw your heart over the line. Okay? There's going to be a push. So, and I want you thinking big. You guys, I want you thinking big. I don't want you thinking small. And the other thing that I'll give you guys really quickly, that a lot of you have seen this before, but I wanted you to be reminded of, you got to do the activity, that here's the free car workload thing that I forgot to pass out earlier, that you do the same amount of activity. Those of you that want to be a director, here's the activity that you want to be focused on. Because remember, I want you earning the car while you're becoming a director, right? Because I want you to be a solid director. Now, you guys can get into DIQ by the end of the month like that. Once you're in DIQ, this is all I want you focused on, is the work. Remember, I said DIQ is hard when you're not working. DIQ is easy when you're working. This is the activity level. Show me that you will not earn a free car and be a director when you don't do this. What I love about this is you do 28 parties and you share the business with 56 people. When you do this level of activity, you will have a free car and you will be a sales director. Why not do this activity while you're in DIQ? Why not push the next few days? And then this is all I want you focused on. I don't want you focused on that 13.5 production. I don't want you focused on that 24. I want you focused on the work. Because when you focus on the work, the results will come. But what happens is we all do it is we focus on the end, like the end active people and production and this amount of the result, that we don't focus on the work that's going to get us there. When you focus on the activity, you will get the result. When you just think, how am I going to get there? And you don't work, you're not going to get it. Okay? So this is the activity. That's all you need to be focused on when you're in DIQ, is just that work, right?
Okay.
So let's get you into DIQ. Couple of things. Offer you a challenge. I want to let you know of a couple things, and then I'm going to tell you about a challenge that we're going to issue. And I expect those of you in the room right now and those of you listening online to be the people that are going to be joining us. Okay? I expect you to be joining us with these things. Number one, $1 Million Weekend. I haven't talked about that in a while. $1 Million Weekend. You know, I get to pick 5 consultants to come with me, and most of my friends that have been there, they said it has been their favorite thing of the entire year for their consultants to come to. Leadership is our favorite for directors, but this is something that consultants can come to, and it's all the $1 Million directors. So there's 11 of us $1 Million directors, and we go down to Dallas. They pay for a lot of it. It only costs $50, and that's including all your food and your hotel. That is crazy.
That's cheap.
Mary, yeah, that's crazy. So all you have to do is have your flight down there, which I'll be offering promotions to have to pay for your flights in a minute. Well, I will be doing it later, but I get to pick who I want to have join me. I get to pick 5 of my top people, and you're guaranteed to get a spot when you become a director by then. It's in February. So you're guaranteed to get a spot, but I'm also looking for the people that have done the most activity and the people that are doing the most. So you get into DIQ, I can guarantee if you want to be even considered for a spot, you go on Target for your car and be in DIQ, you'll at least be considered. You want to be guaranteed a spot, you become a director by then. And all y'all in the room can become a director by January 1st and join us in Atlanta at the same time. So there's that. And then the other challenge that I'm excited about is we just issued this, so let me make sure to get it clearly. Those of you that at least get into your red jacket, I want y'all in DIQ November 1st, but at least get into your red jacket by the end of the month. By November 1st, you get to join us on Monday for a special dinner with the directors. Those of you that get in your red jacket by the end of the month, and don't you dare tell me, oh, there's only 5 days left. Guess what? Anything can happen in 5 days. People get in DIQ in 48 hours is more than 48 hours. Why not have that be you? And then how about this? Those of you, okay, never mind, I'm not going to say that. But I want you guys in DIQ. I want you guys in DIQ, but minimally in your red jacket. So you get to join us for dinner with the directors on Monday night. Those of you that get in your red jacket, if you're already in your red jacket, you need to move up a level. You need to move up a level by this Monday. No, it's by November 1st.
Oh, okay.
You need to move up by the end of the month. You need to move up by the end of the month because we want you to push for the end of the month. But a lot of people run from deadlines. Deadlines are good. Deadlines are good, and I want you embracing the deadline. The deadlines is good. Don't run from the deadline. That now's the time to push, because here's what happens when you're what is the saying? Diamonds are created under pressure. Do you know that diamonds are made out of just like a piece of steel? But diamonds are created under pressure because your character is developed under pressure. A lot of you want to just wait and, oh, maybe it'll just happen and I'll just get to my 8 active or my 10 active at some point. Good luck. There's going to be some push. Why wait? But your character is going to be developed and is going to be tested, and you are going to grow over these next 5 days like you have never seen yourself grow. You are going to become a different person if you push and stretch and you're in DIQ November 1st. You will be radically different. If you don't push, you're going to be in the exact same place you are right now. That embrace the push, because not just because of, yes, you're going to be in DIQ, but think about how much you're going to grow, how it's going to grow your confidence, how it's going to grow that muscle, because it is a muscle. And like any good muscle, you need to stretch it. You need to stretch it for it to work. So now's the time to stretch it. So 8 active is nothing. I want you all to say 8 active is easy.
8 active is easy.
It's not your job to focus on getting them active. That's our job as the director. You work on recruiting them and getting them in. You can go, every single one of you. How about this? I'm going to give you a challenge. Here's the challenge. I will pay for your plane ticket to $1 Million Weekend if you gold medal by the end of the month. No, now I don't care if you have 10 team members already. You gold medal. You get 5 people in. You get 5 people in because I want you pushing. I'll pay for your plane ticket. Those of you listening online, you gold medal by the end of the month. I don't care how many team members you have in right now. They don't count. You need 5 new between now and the end of the month. Okay? Because y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. Okay? And that'll give you the momentum that you need to be there. I just made that up, and that makes me, I want to see who's going to do it and rise up. I want to see who's going to do it. I'm willing to put some money on the table. I'm willing to put some money on the table if you're willing to throw your heart over the line. Okay? All right. So we will have all of you, I'm sure, at least joining us for the lunch, the Red Jacket Luncheon, for getting into your Reds, because Red Jacket is nothing. I want you focused on DIQ. Red Jacket is, that's fine. And when you're talking to your people and you're sharing and asking them to listen, you say, I'm getting the DIQ by the end of the month and I'm becoming a director and I'm earning a plane ticket, so I need to share. Okay, we'll focus on the activity. You want 5 team members? You go share with 20 people by the end of the month. You share with 20 people. That is your goal. You share with 20 people passionately, face-to-face if possible. Facebook is great, not as powerful. You're going to need to share with a lot more people. You go share with 20 people. The other promo that I'm doing this month is when you share with 20 people, you get a free gift card to the restaurant of your choice. Do you not remember that? Why not? Oh, and when you gold medal, you also get a cute little tote or little tumbler from me too. So there you go. Plane ticket and a tumbler. But I don't care how many agreements you have to gold medal between now and the end of the month. You have to have 5 new between now and the end of the month. Starts right now. You're officially challenged. Okay? You ready to go share? Okay? No more messing around. No more letting fear hold you back from what you guys all say you want in your life. No more. Don't let the devil get in your head. Don't let him mess with you. Don't let fear hold you back. Do you know over 300 times in the Bible it says fear not? That is the most repeated instruction that we are told in the Bible. Okay. Love y'all. Let's see. Let's go make things happen. We're not seeing what happens. We're going to make things happen. And we'll see y'all in DIQ. Get them. Bye.